How to train your intuition. This is the title for today's episode. Welcome to the Being Connected podcast, the place you go where you want to explore the journey of being human, being in the world, and your spiritual being. I am your host, Anamia, and in today's episode, How to Train Your Intuition, I will give you 10 points where you can train and strengthen your intuition. And let's just start out with clarifying what is intuition. That can sound a little fluffy, but maybe you have also yourself had the feeling that you know something and you can't tell me why you know it. You just know that you know this. So you can have that gut feeling. And a gut feeling is something where you say, yes, I just know this. In my heart of hearts, I know that this is the way it is. You can have that inner knowing, and we can also call it a sixth sense. So what it is the unconscious, something that we have layered inside our body and our soul, and it comes out to us unconsciously, and then we can sense something. And how to be more aware of this intuition and how we can train it, because this is trainable. This is like when you go to the gym and you want to build muscles. The more you work out, the more muscles you get, the more fat you lose, and the more you strengthen and tighten up. This is the same for intuition. So one of the things that you can know when we are talking about intuition is we want to pay attention to what thoughts are you having? Are you having different feelings in the body? Because sometimes you can have a conversation with a person and then all of a sudden you get goosebumps. The hair is rising on your arms, or you can feel the tingling in your neck or wherever you feel it. This is your intuition, your unconscious, that is telling you that you are into something that is right, something that we just know. I made this list for you with 10 key points to train and strengthen your intuition even more. This is such a powerful tool, and when you do this more and you train it more, this is a great way to live your life. I am very driven through my intuition. I sense energies from others, also from intuitions, also from situations where this feeling when you walk into a room and something is off. Yes? And why is that off? You can't really put a finger on it, but something is off. That is also your intuition. But let's start with the first step of training and strengthening your intuition. And the first thing you want to do is slow down. Everything, when you look around in your life and look around in society, everything is so fast. People are busy, they want to go places, they are busy at work, they have to do this and they have to do that. Slow down. And the reason why we want to slow down is that we lower the information. And when we lower the information, we can observe better. When we slow down, and instead of running around like a chicken without a head, we can start to observe our surroundings. And that is by far the greatest advice, and the greatest thing you can ever train is to slow down, observe, and see what is around you. That is step number one. The thing you also want to do when you slow down is pay attention to which thoughts are you having. Do you have feelings of sadness, overwhelmed, happiness, joy, bubbly, tingling feelings. What feelings are you experiencing in your body? The second thing we want to do is quiet the mind. So, how can we quiet the mind better? We can do meditations, and maybe meditation is something for you that meditation, everybody says meditation. And yes, they do, because it works and it's not that difficult. Maybe you are overthinking it, because meditation is just to quiet the mind. And maybe you have a monkey mind. I speak about this often. A little monkey running around in your brain, making a ton of noise all day long. And that does that you don't remember so well. You can forget conversations. You get into a worse place for making even simple decisions as what are we going to have for dinner, because everything is so noisy. So when you start connecting to the idea of that you want to quiet the mind, you can sit down, and yes, that monkey will run around with you, and you just have to observe. There he goes again. And then bring the focus back to the present time where you are. And maybe it's difficult for you to sit down and do meditations if you are a busy person right now. What you can also do is spend more time in nature. Now it's spring, at least here in Denmark. Today is not that great, but spring is on the move here. And it will be more green, the sun comes out more, and we got the birds singing and the animals are popping out from the caves everywhere, and it's a really nice time. So just going for a walk, or just go outside, sit in the sun, spend some time in nature. That is also a meditation, you can say. What you can do also when you want to quiet the mind is taking a deep breath. Just taking one powerful breath, we can actually call that a little meditation. So just think of that. If meditation is the word that you say, I can't do that. Okay, but go outside and sit on a rock and enjoy a little spring sun while taking a couple of deep breaths. That will be enough to quiet the mind. And start small. Everything starts small. And we can do that at least once a day. So try that out for quieting the mind. Number 3 is trust it and act on it. Which means maybe you have been in a situation where you are driving in your car, and then you are at a crossroad. You can go left and you can go right. And then you have a feeling, I should go left. And then you turn right because that's your daily habit. And then you turn right and you end up in a traffic jam. And then you thought, if I would have listened to the input of going left, what would have happened then? So when I say trust it and act on it, this is just the little steps of when you get a pop-up thought in your head, try and trust that it's there for a reason, and then act on it. And as simple as left or right. Get a thought, go left, okay, go left. And maybe there's nothing there, but you can observe still. Observe what is happening, what is your surroundings saying. It's just a part of you have been too busy today, and turning left actually brought you closer to nature, which will quiet the mind more, so you are more relaxed when you get back home. Number 4, you can journal your insights. Start a journal, pick up your pen and paper, and just write down the date. I got 2 inputs today and I chose to follow them. It doesn't have to be more journaling than that, and it doesn't take up a lot of time, but it tracks how much you train the muscle. It's like when you go to the gym and you want to lose weight, you can take a measurement and you can measure yourself around the waist and thighs and belly and stuff like that. And then after 1 month, you will measure, okay, I lost these inches. This is the same you do for your journaling of your intuition. How much you train and how much strength did I get in my intuition this month? Just by writing the date, and then I trusted that this input was for me, and I turned left. Just write that down. And then you can see over a period of time and weeks, from when I started doing this training of my intuition, it has actually gone stronger. Number 5 is tune into your body. And you can connect this step with the step of slowing down and also quieting the mind. Because when you tune into your body, you come out of your head. When you want to get into what do I experience in my body, the bodily sensations, do you get tingling? Do you get goosebumps? Do you feel sad? Is that like an energy you read? What are you experiencing? And it's not important what you do with it. Just because you will experience a sensation in the body, which can be feeling overwhelmed or it can feel super happy, you don't have to do anything with that feeling. You just have to see, observe, that's there. Don't do anything about it. You don't have to go with that emotion of being depressed or feeling overwhelmed, but you have to just observe, that's in the body now. What does this mean? What could it mean? It could mean perhaps that you today are feeling less energized than the day before. Maybe you just have to set the pace down a little. Be a little more caring towards yourself. Yeah? Just because you have a feeling that is really taking you over. I have done a lot of work with this, and sometimes it feels somebody's gonna die. Then it just turns out that my daughter was catching a cold. Just know that just because you feel something a lot, you have to know where in the spectrum is this feeling. If we divide the spectrum and say, okay, so here are like the shadow sides of the feelings, and here's like the brighter feelings. And no feeling is, don't get me wrong, but good or bad. You just have to observe it. And when you are in the shadow kind of side of the feelings, it can point to that pace. Slow down, quiet the mind, sit in the sun for a while. Maybe you don't have to do the 8 chores that you set out today. Maybe you should just connect with your family or take a walk in nature. So it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do anything about it. It just means that, maybe that plan you had is not the plan that you should have today. That can be one thing that is super important for you to do today. Okay, do that. Really important task, and the rest can wait till tomorrow. When you have the great feelings, okay, I have lots of energy today and I can do all the 8 tasks that I was gonna do, that can also point to, I feel so happy and abundant and joyful in my heart. Maybe we should go to the beach with the kids, or we should go with the dog. Maybe we should go see a friend. Maybe I should call my mom, So this intuition, when you get into the body and just observing where are my feelings on this spectrum and what does it mean? And of course, if you have something super important, you should do that. But most things can wait till tomorrow because You know what? We woke up today. A lot of people didn't. We have so much to be grateful for. We have a life every day. And that life has got very little to do with materialistic things or bad relationships or stress or busyness. Just know that when spending quality time together has got very little to do with money, for instance. It has nothing to do with creating everything all the time. Sometimes and most of the time maybe, it's very important to connect, not only to ourselves. It's the place to start. Let this be contagious, because everything that you do and you change in yourself will be like little lakes out to your surroundings. So the surroundings you are in will notice that you are doing something different. You are more happy, you are more glowing, maybe you're more easygoing. And that's super nice for everyone, I think, to be a little more happy. Right, number 6 on the list is ask for guidance. And what does that mean? It means that if you are in this world and you are training and strengthening your intuition, you also know that there might be something more between heaven and earth. So when we ask for guidance, maybe you have heard words like spirit guides or angels or dragons or ascended masters, and you can ask for guidance. If you wake up and you feel completely off one day, you can ask, help me get more energized today, help me get through my day. It can also be that you are going into a meeting and you are nervous about this meeting, and you can ask for guidance, and that is just asking up. You don't even have to say it out loud. I do find though that when you say it out loud and you speak it out loud, you also know what you're asking for, because we can have multiple thoughts, and I think you might have that. So that monkey running around in your head, to get him to sit down and be quiet, we can ask for this guidance and saying, I would like to get very supported to go to my meeting today. I want to be able to present accordingly to my knowledge and my power. I want to be happy and I want to present with a good energy and good vibes so that everyone in the room feels super energized when I'm done presenting. So while saying that out loud, it's even easier to hear what it is that you are saying, because we can think all day long, but when you say it out loud, you actually hear yourself. Did I say that? Yes, you did. So say it out loud. The same goes for affirmations. When you say affirmations, and an affirmation is something you repeat to yourself, and daily, really, really good to do that on a daily basis. Look into the mirror in the morning, giving yourself a high five and saying, you look amazing. You are a good person. And today you are gonna rock like the badass queen you are. Have a nice day. You know, this is a good affirmation. And if you don't know how you can use affirmations, I am running right now a 30 days of affirmations to thrive. It's totally free. You can go connect on my Instagram and on my Facebook page. It's called Anna Mia Silke Brand, my name. And you can go in there and you can pick out which affirmation really fits you. You are so welcome to go and take that in and spend it and use it every day. When we do that, we can stand even stronger in ourselves. Number 7 is expand your senses. What you can do here is practice visualization. When you practice visualizing, and visualizing something is getting images and pictures in the head. You can have an inside image on the inner side of your eye, and you can create pictures where you visualize that this meeting you're going to is gonna go super well. You can see how the people you present to, they really take it in. They can see the value that you're offering. You can see your boss is clapping and he's so happy. This is visualization. So when you practice what outcome you want to have, not only do you speak it and say it out loud, but you also practice it in the mind. The reason why we want to do this is the brain does not know the difference between real life or imagination. So can you see how that practicing visualization is super important? Because when you create images in your mind, your brain will think, oh, this is in real life, and then replicate it into real life. Yeah. So this is why that this is very important to do that. And it might not be easy for you to do it, but practice make progress. Remember that. Also, under the expand your senses, when you are observing people and your environment, it sharpens your senses. So if you are a person who speaks a lot, try and be quiet and listen and observe. What is it the other people are doing? What are they saying? How is the body language? What is the vibe in the room? When you start to be more quiet and just observing, you can actually quite easy pick out, okay, who are persons in here that I want to connect more to, and which people do I definitely not need to connect more to. So when you are expanding your senses, this is really something to practice. And yes, practice makes progress. Number 8 is follow synchronicities and signs. And I think that you might be doing this already. When you see on the watch in the car, you can see that it's 8 minutes past 8, or maybe your oven or microwave in the display says it's 4 minutes past 4, or you see your iPhone on it's 11:11. So maybe you see numbers and signs. Maybe you have heard this as angel numbers, that the angel realm is connecting you and validating you, that yes, you are working with your intuition and you are definitely seeing synchronicities. You are on the right track. Yeah. Also, you can see symbols. Maybe you are walking in nature and you see an eagle. Well, an eagle is a symbol of clarity, seeing things more straight or seeing things more for what it is. That's a symbol. You can actually go to your ChatGPT and say, okay, I saw an eagle. What is the symbol for an eagle? Then the AI will tell you this translations to what you think you saw as a symbol. So that's a good way to get even more into, yes, that's right. I was walking and I saw the eagle and I was offered this position at work, but I'm not sure whether to take it or not. And am I, in that process? And then you go for a walk in nature and you see symbols. Now it's springtime. Maybe you will see a lot of the new flowers coming up. So even though it's still cold, we can see that something is spiring up through the frozen ground and the spring is coming. Something is evolving and letting out all the new, because that is what spring is. Also new beginnings, right? So seeing symbols, and what does this mean? If you see, for instance, the eagle, and you see it and yes, now I'm absolutely positive I'm gonna take the job because I can do that. I am like that eagle and I can get the power and the strength to go and do this job. If you know inside your sixth sense or your intuition or your gut feeling, something is telling you, you saw this and you definitely know that this was for you. Nobody has to validate that for you because you already know. Just remember, when you see symbols, they can mean 1,000 different things for 1,000 different people in 1,000 different situations. So just because it means something for you can mean something else for somebody else. Be aware of that. Number 9 is engage in creative activities. That is drawing, writing, dancing, music, doing something to keep the flow going. So if you feel like you don't get as much in, your intuition is a little off, or you feel a little broken, when you engage into creative activities, you will actually start to feel that your creation is flowing even better. Also because when we do creative activities, it has to do with something that is often coming from the unconscious. If we are painting, for instance, we can know that we want to paint something, but then we just go for blue and green and red and yellow, and we're just painting and painting and painting. And just by setting your soul free, by doing something without having any expectations toward the outcome, it's a good thing to do when you feel a little stuck in your life. Start to do something, because sitting still forever is not gonna get anything going. So if you feel a little stuck, or you feel a little off or a little tired, start doing something creative. It will really get your flow going. The last point on the list, number 10, limit overthinking and doubt. Yes, avoiding excessive logic is really good when you want to train your intuition. And why is that? That is because as soon as your brain takes over trying to take control over the outcome, a lot of people do this also when we go into manifestations, but I'll do another episode on that because that is also a huge topic and really interesting, because everything we do in life is something that we create or something that we manifest. But when you have too much of a logic that you want to have control of what is going to happen, we need to go back to point number 3, where we say we need to trust it and then act on what we are given, and not having control of I want that job, because we really do not know for sure whether or not that job is good for us in 6 months. Somebody else knows that. Something between heaven and earth, in the universe, in the angel realms, in the dragon realm, where you are connected to most, you will know that something bigger than you knows what is good for you. So when we try to limit the overthinking, that we want to control the outcome, or we are doubting, oh, this is never going to happen. And I get that. I'm really good at planning and outlining projects for the podcast. I need to do that to have structure, to get it more productive and to be more effective. That works because I don't want to spend my whole life working, but I want to be super effective and productive when I do go to work. So that's why planning and being effective and productive is really good. And we cannot do that when we overthink. That's not productive, that's not effective either. And we cannot doubt. And the reason why we can't doubt is when we are in a phase where we want to train and strengthen our intuition, if you have doubts all the time, you are reversing it. So every time you have a feeling, you can say, okay, that is my worst fear, and I have doubt that I'm never going to get that job. Slow down, have positive thoughts, thinking about the outcome, but not trying to control it. Let it be, because something bigger than you knows what is good for you. When we know that life is not against us, and I know this can sound provoking if you are in a very tough place right now. I know that, and I get that can be very triggering. But when we know that life is for us, what do you do with the bad that happens in life? Because going through life and nothing happens to us ever, we don't grow, we don't get the lessons where we really know what we want to do. And when something quote unquote bad happens, we for sure know how to make decisions. We know how to set boundaries. We know that we want to change. We know that we want to do something else. Everything gets even more black and white. Yes? So when it's more black and white, it's easier to know what we want to do and easier to also create the next outcome we want in life, but trusting the process without wanting to control it. And of course you can have doubt, and of course you can overthink, because there will be days where you cannot control it. Well, you know what? Don't think about it that much. Go outside, sit, quiet the mind, go for a walk in nature. And maybe the sun is not out, but you know what? It's still gonna be amazing taking a walk, because you actually change the hormones in the body. But that's also for another episode. So this is it for me today. There are 10 points on how to strengthen and training your intuition. Thank you for joining me here at the Being Connected podcast. Stay connected, stay curious, and stay focused on what matters to you.